are watching T Radio V, radio in TV.
Hello and welcome to the very last episode of Season 2 of the Street Angel Show here in the heart of Hollywood at T Radio V Studio. So yeah, last show is kind of like a weird feeling, but I guess that's usually the way it is. End of the contract for now. I'm not going to do the show during the holidays, so if I do another season, it probably won't be till next year if I do it. So you'll have to just, hold on to your butts and see what happens, So today's going to be kind of different because, so a few things happened. Anna Julia was going to interview me, and she got sick last night. She's been throwing up all night. So sending her get well wishes. If you see this, send her a get well soon. She had to call in. And so my friend Dustin over here came in at the last second, and he was like, sure, I'm available. So hi, Dustin.
Hello.
This is Dustin Conrad. He's with Bands and Body, and we've done workouts and videos and all sorts of random stuff together. So, yeah, welcome and thank you. So he's going to be interviewing me and asking a bunch of questions that have been gathered from the viewers. So basically, I had people wanting to know stuff about me personally and my angel project, and so I was like, okay, just submit to me all your questions. And just so you know, they do get a little more risque toward the end of the show, so you might want to hang in there for that. It's going to be interesting. So, you want to just get to it? Or, oh wait, I guess I should say I'm Mandelyn Reese. I'm the street angel, and I wear the posters and wings and messages everywhere. And my entire show, the first 2 seasons, have been devoted to helping others and promoting kindness and positivity. And I've saved my very last show for this random risque, strange interview for myself. So let's go for it. What do you want to start with?
All right, so we got some really good ones in here, but we're going to take it down a notch.
He's
and start
chomping at the bit, like, ready for this.
I'm going to try to be patient,
Okay.
and just ease into it. So all right, let's see. All right, so yeah, tell us when you realized what you wanted to do, and how this whole thing kind of came about.
Well, the Angel Project hit me like a bolt of lightning. As soon as I got to Los Angeles on my second day, it just came to me. It's hard to explain to people why, but I got this profound message that I had to go out on the streets with posters about kindness, and that's how it just struck me. And then as I thought, I downloaded what I was supposed to do, basically, my purpose and calling, and it was so strong. It's like I had to be a messenger. And then the idea with the wings was City of Angels, Los Angeles, people, angels are messengers of peace. So I just started to order the wings, and, I started on Amazon. I think these are some Amazon wings, but I've gone through many, many pairs through the last 4 years. I don't know if you know, but I did hit my 4-year anniversary with the Angel Project August 17th of this year. So, yeah, so just been through a lot of pairs of wings. These ones I'm wearing are my newest pair from Mother Plucker's Feather Company. Yeah, they're ostrich feathers, so they're a little pretty.
Softer? Are they softer?
Oh, they're way softer.
Good.
Fluffy.
All right, moving right along. What motivates you to go out and keep doing it?
Well, the calling was just very strong. It was almost like, I want to say God gave me this internal combustion engine of just I have to go out there and do this. And I felt like I was way more of a powerful light in the beginning, basically, because I really didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I didn't know my way around, or I didn't know how people were here, and I was just so bright and shiny and happy and naive, and I felt like this little lamb, and I was just oh, look at these ginormous posters that took up half my body, and over time I've kind of adjusted my methods and sizes of posters, and I've made some that are more stealth to sneak into certain places, but I've been a lot more widely accepted and known throughout the city now, so it's gotten better.
Awesome. And so how have the folders evolved?
The folding signs?
Gigantic. How big were they?
Oh, like the big kind you get like at the art shop, the biggest of the biggest, like those were my original, but they took forever to make. And strange, they'd get beat up so easily because they're so big
Oh,
and
yeah,
bulky. Like
definitely.
they'd get beat up in my trunk. One time some green soup got slopped on one, and I was like, oh. So tried to get them laminated now, but the laminate can sometimes mess up with the lighting and be reflective. I don't know. It's been like an evolving process, you know.
Hmm.
Yeah. What else you got for me?
Okay, let's see here. All right, let's see this is a good segue. What kind of obstacles have you faced like through the process of like taking on the Angel project?
In the beginning, my friends and family were so fearful for my life. They were worried about me. I mean, this is like my first time being out away from home. For one, I'd never left my city until I moved here. And so I was out here alone. I got this calling. I started going out on the streets dressed like an angel, and they were just terrified for me. And so I actually took on a lot of criticism and negative holdback, and I just kept pressing on. Despite the risks and despite my fears and despite the danger, I kept going. And so it's led me in this bizarre path and to where I am now.
And have you ever found yourself in a dangerous situation or any kind of like crazy things happen?
Yes, actually. I was going to touch on that a little later, but I did ask this one guy. I was going to an event. I wasn't familiar with the area or the people that much, and I asked a guy who was kind of a newer person, and I thought he was a friend. I was like, well, you kind of come with me, be my like bodyguard escort for this event. Well, he date rape drugged me. And I got out of it at the last minute before, it happened, but it was a very terrifying experience and a really violation of my trust. And so then it kind of led me to feel like I had to be kind of wary of damn near everybody. And so I think LA is a very different forest, and you got to be careful about who the wolves are. And people here have really mastered the facade of, fooling people. So you got to be careful, extremely careful, and you got to look at the signs and cautions that exist and tune into your gut feelings better, that kind of thing.
Yeah, they're all actors.
Yeah, not everybody, but you just never know what you're gonna get out here.
Oh, this is a good one after that. So, how do you overcome the haters?
The haters. Well, we were talking about this in the car on the way here. It's like that they're always gonna be haters, especially the more people get celebrity and popular and well-known and their social media is exploding. I mean, you attract all kinds of people, and they can just, the social media, the way it's set up, like anybody, strangers, bullies, idiots, I mean, they can just like be commenting all over your stuff and saying horrible things. Like, I mean, I've been getting some comments lately on my social media out of left field from strangers, and they're saying like really raunchy things, and I'm just like, oh God, who's gonna have the time to block all these people if it just keeps increasing? But you gotta just kind of roll with it, and I try to stay positive and
just weather the storm.
Secretly send them blessings and be like, I don't understand. Like something that bothers me is like, it'd be nice if everybody just would like each other and be nice and kind, but that's not a real reality, I think. I mean, you can have the most best and pure intentions with like my Angel project, promote kindness, and still have haters throwing comments, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So
let's see. How about other projects? Do you plan to do other projects? Is this the only one?
Well, for my birthday coming up in October, I'd really like to try to plan another costume charity big birthday party, because that was really successful back in, I think I had one 2013 and 14 too. So one was like a big thing for gathering stuff for Skid Row, warm clothes, hats, mittens, and then some food. And then the next one I had was for the food pantry of San Antonio, and we gathered a big thing of canned food and whatever else we could. So I like to kind of combine my birthday party with fun stuff, like dress up in costume because it's so close to Halloween, October 24th, and then bring stuff for the homeless, and I like to give to charity and donation drives, so it's just kind of a fun thing to do.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And so your birthday is October 24th. What sign does that make you, and do you believe in astrology?
I do, and I'm a cusp baby. On the year of my birth, it was only like 0.3 into Scorpio. So technically, I'm first day of Scorpio for that year, but I have a lot of Libra. People say I'm very balanced between the two signs. So I've got the outgoing, fun, charming, like networking side of me that's always going out to events. But then I have the, you know what they say about Scorpios, like,
No, tell me.
we're more sexual sign, but we can
Oh,
also like
geez.
kind of stay secretive or to ourselves. And so I balance it. Like I stay home and I watch movies and enjoy my own alone time, but then I go out and I socialize and network and have fun and, so it's good balance.
Yeah, life is all about finding the balance. Let's see. What keeps you? Oh, we kind of covered that one, but here's another piece of it. What type of people do you surround yourself with?
I try to have friendly people and positive, upbeat people and people that I feel like support me or get me or, support the Angel Project. Sometimes I do feel like it's a little harder to make and keep real long friendships here in LA. And part of it is I think people are so busy. They're just really busy doing their lives and paying their rents and bills. And it's harder to make longer, solid connections, which also extends into the dating problem that we were discussing. But, it is what it is.
Yeah. Do you have like a specific best friend here or in Texas?
Well, I would say Anna Julia is one of my best friends. She was the one supposed to be here today interviewing me, but she got sick. So, as far as guy friends go, you're one of them. Like, I've spent a lot, time with you hanging out, and we just go do random activities. And you've been on the show before, so we've got along and had fun times.
Definitely. And thank you.
And we've never done anything sexual.
That's right. It's possible, guys.
It's possible to have friends,
Let's see here. Okay. Do you plan to be a teacher, healer, or light worker?
Oh, definitely. In fact, I think I sent some pictures in. Last night I did a workshop. It was a sound bath plus meditation, and I had all my shamanic sound tools that I did. Rain stick and Tibetan singing bowl and stuff like that. And so I do plan to continue my light working and healer activities and helping others. And, I like to continue to learn and grow and provide services and angel card readings and all kinds of stuff. So if you go to my website, thestreetangel.com, it shows a bunch of my angel services that I offer. And I can do them over the phone or Skype or whatever if people are long distance.
Yeah, I remember you did the angel card reading on me. It was pretty
it was
groundbreaking.
accurate. Yeah, profound, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
website.
chilling. It was chilling.
That's my new website, and it looks so freaking good.
Oh, nice.
Like,
that's clean.
Yeah, it really is nice. I love how it turned out. It's so exciting. It's all my girly colors I like, and you can see pictures of me in action, all my different posters over the years.
I like the handwriting.
Yeah, the different services that I can provide and, different stuff. So check it out in your leisure. All my talk shows are listed on there, too. If you go to the talk show tab, you can go watch them and see their description and stuff. Yeah.
Cool. This is a good one. I'm interested in this myself. What trade or career would you have followed if you didn't go the route of the angel, like maybe truck driver or something like that?
Oh, yeah, Mandelyn, the truck driver. Oh, I could see that. Well, I was already in, like, the aesthetics field, which I got licensed in, like, facials, waxing, makeup, and I was exploring that field. I was actually very new out of it, and then my life completely changed, and then I shape-shifted and like moved to LA and had all this spiritual stuff happening to me. So I ended up getting more into the holistics, really interested in holistics and healing and spirituality. And so I probably would have continued the aesthetics path in some way, shape, or form. I was working on getting like a dual more licensures in California. But then I was like, I'm really more interested in the healing stuff. So I kind of got more certifications and that kind of thing, like crystal therapy and Reiki and that kind of stuff.
And then, so talk about the certifications. Like how much training did you have to go through? Like what kind of certifications do you have?
What kind of certifications? So besides the licensure and aesthetics, I got Reiki 1 and 2 certifications. I've had training in the sound therapies of different kinds, reflexology certification. I'm currently in school right now to be a transformational coach.
Cool.
I'm halfway through that program, so I'll have that certification. I've been doing I'm really expert in basically angel card readings, and I do some tarot, but I think more people are interested in the angel stuff. It kind of goes along with the wings and everything like that. And, you know, I have a bachelor's, and actually all my educational certifications are listed on my website at thestraightangel.com. If you go to the About Me tab, and then it says my educational background. So it's like a ton of stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Is there one that particularly stands out, or like a training course that really impacted you?
I think the sound therapy.
Really?
Like I didn't get a specific paper saying I completed, but I've been trained by a bunch of different shamanic individuals and healers, and so I gathered a bunch of different tools, and they're really profound. People always say how much they love the healing sound tools.
I agree. I actually, I've gone to a lot of sound bath events, and I also bought like a ton of stuff just to kind of experiment on my own. And
Yeah?
It's fun. It's, you know, it's just creative with it. So
Yeah.
let's see what else we got here for you.
All right.
This is good. If you could color your life, what color would it be?
Rainbow.
Rainbow.
You know, just the other day, actually, I was thinking about it. I was like, my past is very colorful, rainbowish. Like, I would say a big portion of my life I spent being the super goody two-shoes as best I could possibly be. And then some random things shape-shifted my life, turned my reality upside down, and I went through a couple years of being kind of the more bad girl, unleashed like lifetime of being the goody two-shoes, and just like let my hair down and went for the crazy girl kind of party scene. But then I've been kind of roping myself back, and you kind of grow and you change and you get wiser, and you learn men's tactics and things like that, and you're like, okay, gotta wise up, be a little more mature, and have some more gut instinct and caution on some things, and everything in moderation. Remember, we were talking about that in the car. So
balance,
moderation. Yeah.
All right, moving along here. Let's see. Let's hear a little bit about your family. Do you have any brothers or sisters? What's your family life like? Your upbringing in Texas, and let's hear about that.
My family divorced when I was in 5th grade, and my parents kind of divorced and remarried, and so I have a sister, a full-blood sister. She's 6.5 years younger than me. Her name is Blue, and I have a 13-year-old half-brother named Taryn.
Your sister's name is Blue, like the color?
Well, it's her nickname, but it's not like her real name. But she doesn't like going by her real name, so
okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Blue like the color.
What other talents do you have?
Talents. I like art a lot, like arts and crafts, and I've done different paintings and different mediums, and I get into this like groove, and then I just gotta grab some kind of art or piece of paper or poster, and I just start going to town. And it changed over the years. Like, in the beginning I did more watercolor and different acrylics or pastel. But then the last few years, I feel like I've been drawn to doing kind of these like paper cutouts, and I put them all together into this collage that has a certain message to it, and that applies to my life or what I'm going through. So that's pretty cool. Like, it's really fun doing that. Yeah, it just kind of changes.
Yeah, being creative.
But besides that,
Sure.
I mean, I would say I'm pretty well spoken. I like to write and do blogging. I've written, contributed to books. Networking and socializing. I don't know, like I'm drawing a blank here, but like a lot of stuff.
So like public speaking, or
I'm a quick learner. Like I've actually done a commercial, and I was really good at the acting thing. I mean, we nailed it in like an hour, and like it went on to TV and aired around. And I mean, I'm kind of crafty with even the internet stuff, like with my website. I mean, basically the lady set me up the basic website, and I learned really quick like how I could go in there and edit it and add stuff and move things around. And it's like, so I can just pick up things. And I think another thing we talked about on a couple shows prior, it was like being a chameleon, being able to mix and match and blend with different peoples and events and just whatever I have to do to fit in order to get the messages out. That's basically what I like. It's fun doing that.
That's
I
good.
like socializing.
Cool. Let's see what else we got here for you. Going back to your family and your roots, did you feel like you've learned a lot from them, and maybe like what specifically have you learned or adopted from them?
I'd say a lot of stuff what not to do in life sometimes, but I guess just pressing on through hard times. I would say, with my parents' divorce, it definitely threw my mom out on having to be independent and survive on her own, and she's been through a lot of crazy stuff. But she's done really well for herself and pretty good. And my dad, I would say he really taught me to be well-read and to put a lot of emphasis and importance into education and do the best you can, and press me to just be the best I could. And so I took a lot of value from that perspective of it, being strong.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how about going back to, like, you talked about this moment in time where you were struck with, the need to be the street angel. And then you talked about, how you went from being like the goody two-shoes to kind of the bad girl. Was there a moment or an event or something that switched on, a process where you're like, oh, I want to try this, or I want to reveal this or expose, or?
Well, that was kind of coordinates with my spiritual enlightenment starting. But basically, end of July 2011, I had just gotten out of aesthetics school, and at that moment in time is when me and my husband at the time, we'd been together 6.5 years, we decided to divorce. Or he brought it up, and I was like, okay, kind of a mutual thing. And so, like, that incident kind of started unraveling this really long period of insane crap that happened in my life, just like one thing after another. And it expanded all through the 2012. It was my Saturn return. If you don't know what that is, Google it. So my Saturn return happened right at that time, and then the Mayan calendar shift, and it just all this stuff collaborated together. So it's like I lost my husband, I lost my stability, I broke my foot, I was in a cast, I had no job, I just got out of school. Like, my entire family situation turned upside down on my head, and like I had no idea what was going on. Like, things were really horrible, like hard, and I wouldn't wish it on anybody. But during that time, it was also like, veils coming off and like me seeing the truth of matters. And I mean, I had to be so incredibly strong just to survive that time in my life, because it was like, especially like having a busted foot and like not having a stability of the husband that I was used to having to support me. It's like I had to be all by myself getting through all of this stuff, and having a career change, and like, trying to support myself, and losing my career I was doing because I couldn't work and because of the injury. And it was just all this stuff happening. And then I ended up I met a new guy. It was this whirlwind thing. I moved to LA to be with him and kind of escape the drama I was going through in San Antonio. And then I got my calling, and so all of this happened within the span of a year.
Wow.
Between end of July but then it just kept going, and it's like this constant thing. And I feel like as of last year, 2015, I feel like it's finally kind of calmed down a little bit. So that's quite many years of just one thing after another of really dramatic and emotionally upheaval things going on, and having to be strong. And what really got me through it, I think, is prayer and reliance on spirituality, because I mean, it almost killed me. Felt like I almost cracked, But relating to the bad girl question, it was in a time of experimentation, because I had been loyal and faithful to one man for 6.5 years. And so I was just like, all right, time to date and have fun and like indulge in, stuff. And so, but then, I learned a lot of things the hard way, and it was just a really hard time. It was really difficult, but a lot of fun stuff too. I mean, if you were to go back and look at my pictures and how things unraveled, starting with the Angel Project, there's a lot of great pictures, but it doesn't show all the horrible hardship and crying and like, damn near dying that I was going on through behind the scenes of of the pictures. But okay, so we got to take a commercial break, and I was really going off on a tangent with that. So we'll be back, and more questions coming.
Perfect.
Cool. All right, thanks.
You've been called to love and called to share by holding up your signs. Some they laugh, some they cry.
You are watching T Radio V, radio in TV.
If the fish swam out of the ocean and grew legs and they started walking, and the apes climbed down from the tree.
T Radio V.
Watching T Radio V, radio in TV.
All right, and we're back to the Street Angel Show. We did a little,
We did a little
chair
switcheroo.
switcheroo just for the fun of it.
In
So
case you're disoriented, I am too.
yeah, I'm so used to sitting here. I'm like, this feels strange. Like, so let's go for it. Pick up where we left off.
Right. So this next chapter is on some of the more risque.
Not
kind
all of them.
Yeah,
Maybe
but
the
we got
first
some,
two.
We got some juicy ones. in
Yeah.
there,
Oh,
So
here we go.
let's do this.
Hopefully, I don't regret any of these answers.
All right. So I'll start you off with an easy one. How about what might be people's biggest misconception of you?
That is, it can be a risque one if you, depending on the way I want to answer it. I think that I'm the perfect angel because sometimes I've been anything but. I mean, I really I like to enjoy life, and I really like to live to the fullest one day at a time. And sometimes you just never know what life is going to present you each day. And I do try to be smart about it, but it's like I like, we were kind of talking about that on the way here. And sometimes I feel a bit limited by my image of being the, sweet, perfect angel, because we all have our duality sides, and so I do like to adventure in life and sample different foods and different guys, and but not so much. I've been kind of taking a break from the dating scene actually for quite a while now. I'm just tired of the BS, and I'm just not. I felt like my past experiences since my divorce have been so hard and confusing that I feel like I don't even know how to date anymore. It's just like I don't know what to do. I'm just gonna go with the flow and be one day at a time, I guess. That's all I can really do.
Yep. And it's just one day at a time, and trying to be the perfect version of you. What about, let's go back to that though. Give us like an on-court example. Like, is this you up on a bar table dancing, or?
In the past, I have done that. I mean, I've never been like a stripper or a porn star or anything like that, but I've lived it up a little bit, and looking back, you can really be like, oh, I do regret this and I regret that. Maybe I looked really dumb doing that, but then it's like, it's all made a person who they are today, right? And I like being able to say that if I were to die today, like let's say something happened, I dropped dead of aneurysm or car accident, and it won't happen, but if I were to die, I'm grateful for all my experiences I've had, the memories I've made, the people I've met, the chances I took, the risks, just all the beautiful places and things I've got to see. And so I'm grateful for that. I've had a colorful rainbow life, and I really think my future is probably going to be a colorful rainbow life too. There's the ups and downs and the storms and the struggles, and I feel like I've gotten a lot stronger, and I really rely a lot more on prayer and God to get me through the challenging moments, and rely on a higher power because I believe in that. And I think it gives you a lot more grounding when you do, versus just feeling like a lost person who doesn't know what to believe in. I think if you just really settle on, I believe that there is a higher power looking out for me, and it's there to call upon when you need it, that it's there. And I have had plenty of evidence of that in my life, and that's why I've devoted a lot of my show to talking about that and promoting it.
And I think it gives you the advantage of being able to shift your perspective, like, oh, this is happening for a reason, or oh, this is fueling my greater good, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I let it kind of guide me. You know, a lot of times before I make decisions, especially if I'm torn, I'll actually pray about it, and I have these yes-no cards that say, yes, angels approve of this path, or no, we advise against it. And I will pray over it, and I'll choose a yes-no, because I feel like I'm oftentimes torn about, should I go to meet this person? Should I go to this event? And if I can't decide, if I feel conflicted, I'll give it to the higher power and let them choose for me. And it's been a really good way of navigating this strange life, you know. So yeah.
Cool. Well, enough spiritual stuff. Let's get back to this dirty, naughty stuff.
Oh God.
Oh, all right. Let's kick it off with a real raunchy one. And keep in mind, guys, I did not write these. I have nothing.
These were submitted by audience and viewers and stuff.
What kind of undies, it says, do you prefer on men?
On men.
Are you like a Speedos gal or boxer?
You know what? It depends on the guy. I had an ex who would wear these little Speedo underwear type things all the time, and he had a specific reason why he liked those underwear, and he looked good in them because he kind of looked like a Olympic swimmer body. Mm-hmm. He was very chiseled, and you know, he pulled off those underwear well. But on other guys, I'd be like, oh, what the hell is that? You know. But I think my favorite type are kind of the tighter fitting boxers, boxer briefish looking things. They look kind of sexy, you know. I'm not a fan of really short ones or strange looking ones, or I don't know.
So no leopard print or anything like that?
Yeah, to each his own, you know. If a guy wanted to whip out some leopard print, I'd be amused and be like, all right, you know. But I mean, if it was somebody I really loved, I'd just be like, it's you. I'm just going to love you, and you're a dork, but go ahead, you know.
And the second part of this question, which I remind you that I didn't write, it says, what kind of underwear do you wear?
Do I wear? I like to wear cute underwear during the day. Like I have a whole drawer full of Victoria's Secret, I won't lie. So it's like I kind of pick and choose cute, girly, cheeky ones or thongs, but then I like to wear the good old-fashioned granny panties to bed because I cannot sleep with a wedgie. I cannot sleep with underwear crammed up my butt cheeks. So I'm like, I gotta have some good old granny panties to be comfy in, and yeah, so I kind of go back and forth from one extreme to the other.
Nice.
So yeah, I like to be comfortable when I go to bed. Like, I wear really soft PJs, and like they have to be kind of loose and not any constrictive stuff.
Are they made of feathers or
feathers? No, those just during the day stuff, you know, wings. But I mean, I do find random feathers around my bed and just every other place I go. But you know, it is what it is. I'm kind of like the Victoria's Secret angel. I just, you know, I closet that most of the time.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want kids? Do you want children?
I've always thought my whole life it'd be pretty cool to have 1 or 2 kids. But to be honest with you, like, I've got to get the man situation sorted out first. Like, I want to have that epic, true love, romantic fairy tale, like, guy. If that exists, I really want it. Like, I don't know how in this day and age, with it being so, like, a confusing dating scene and, like, all this social media apps and guys just want to screw around and play the field. It's like, how is this supposed to manifest? I want to believe in that. You know, women in particular, I think, we've been raised with all these fairy tale movies and the Cinderellas and the Snow Whites. Their Prince Charming comes and rescues them with their love. And it's like, you know, I'd like to have that counterpart, and, you know, that I have those adventures with, and, you know, we go places together, and we co-create a fun life together, and we have that stability and support that we provide, the masculine and feminine, and, like, I'd like to have that experience of the fairy tale love and romance before I go, hey, let's just pop out some kids now, you know. But, you know, I want a man who looks at me and he's like, this is the girl of my dreams. This is the woman I've been searching for. This is the one I want to, be in with my life with, Like, that's what I'm waiting for, the guy who just looks at me and he's like, this is the perfect girl for me. Maybe I'm not perfect, but I'm perfect for him.
Your
And I don't
puzzle
think
piece.
that's, too much to ask. I think I deserve that.
Sure. Okay, this is another real raunchy one.
Oh, God.
What's the strangest place you've done the deed?
Outside in Enchanted Rock in San Antonio, it's like this big park and it's like a hiking place, and so that was one. Been in the car quite a few times at different places. One time it was outside the car in a busy parking garage.
Like on the roof, the hood of the car? Or?
It was kind of on the side of the door, kind of. But I have been on the roof of a car once. That was really exciting. That was really fun. But yeah, I probably shouldn't reveal anymore.
Okay, cool.
I've had some fun times, though.
All right, here we go. Taking it down a notch. So the last blog that you wrote was really authentic and revealing, and it touched a lot of people's hearts. Will your future ones be as vulnerable, or have you toughened up since then?
Yeah, that was a question from a viewer posted on my Facebook. I think she was talking about my latest blog was about, I can't remember the name of it, but if you go to thestreetangel.com and my blogs, can you pull it up really quick? And then I'll show the name of it. But it's basically, I was talking about how this psychic guy was sitting next to me and he was reading my energy. He just automatically does that or something. And, oh, here it is. It's called The Heart Has a Memory. Okay, there it is. So that's when she was talking about. I was very vulnerable and open. And basically he saw that my heart had yellow around it. Like, I have been very sad. And it's like, my past experiences with men have really broken my heart. And so it's like not knowing how to proceed in relationships with that kind of heart pain, basically. So yeah, I mean, if you go and read a bunch of my blogs, I've always been pretty open and vulnerable. I would say that way more vulnerable than anything I've said in this interview. My blog lays my heart out there, and like a filleted fish, it's like, here I am, all my raw emotions and what I want, things that have happened to me. And I have a lot of blogs that are hidden. I'm thinking maybe I'll publish a book someday, and I'll be like, you know what, you got to buy the book to see the really dirty and raw stories, the things that have happened to me. And
there you go.
So I can share one.
Yeah, share it with us.
That's hidden. And I'm not going to say names because that would get me into some serious issues. But I went to this party once, and like I was introduced to like the most beautiful guy I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, he just looked like he walked off the cover of a GQ magazine. And I was just like, when they introduced me to this guy, I was just like, for a moment, I was kind of stupid. I was like, like, I can't even like talk right now. He's so gorgeous. I was like, just shaking or something, and temporarily stupid. So anyway, I didn't really know many people at this party, and I ended up going off by myself to this hot tub because I was like, I really want to go to the hot tub. And anyway, so this guy, I'm going to call him the beautiful man, he came and he got in the hot tub with me, and we started talking, and somewhere halfway through the conversation, he drops the bomb of the word his wife. And I was like, oh shit, I'm there. And so I was like, okay, so the guy's married, and he's like, and I was like, well, is she here? And he's like, no. And I was like, and he shot me this weird devious smile, and I was like, okay, I don't know what that means. And like, she's gone traveling or something like that. And I was like, well, are you okay like with that? Like, you're apart? And he's like, well, we've been having a lot of trouble the last year or something. And anyway, so fast forward toward the end of the night, we were all gathering stuff to take back to, gathering party supplies to take back to somewhere. Turned out to be his place. And I didn't know that. It was just like, turned out to be. And anyway, then he's like, I got to go to bed. So like, we packed, everything was packed up and put away. And I was like, I got to go to the bathroom first before I drive across town to go home. So I go to the bathroom, I come out, and there was like, nobody was there. Everybody had left. It was just me and the guy. And I was like, oh no. I was like, this can't be happening right now. And he's like, hey, come here. And he like kind of pats the chair, like the couch next to him. He's like, come sit with me. it took every ounce of my being to pull away from that situation and be like, I should say no and leave now. And I did. So we didn't do anything fishy or sketchy or anything we'd regret, but it was just like, whoo, that was a major, you could feel the chemistry and the temptation happening is what I'm saying. It's like we could have done something that we probably would have regretted, but I was strong enough to back away and say no. So, but I have a lot of weird stories like that. I was like, life can put you in these really bizarre situations, and you're just like, you have to have that willpower to say no to things that might really hurt you. Because, I mean, that situation, I'd end up hurt probably. Or, I don't know. I probably should have told too much already, but, at least there's no names involved.
Good.
Good. What else you got?
Let's see. How do you stay in such great shape?
Oh, well, bands and body, No, I mean, I work out. I try to work out at least 3 times a week. I go to the gym, and I know I haven't seen you in a while for a workout, but it's like I really enjoy my zone out time, like going alone to work out, and I'm really focused. But the problem with the gym is I see all these attractive guys, but nobody ever talks to each other. It's like, it's that weird environment where you see attractive people, but you have no idea what you're supposed to do about it or how to approach them or what do you say and will you look dumb or easy or whatever trying to talk to them and,
Yeah. Do you come here often?
Right. So it's like,
Or they have their headphones on, and they're closed up.
Yeah, most people do. I've actually gotten in the habit of leaving the cell phone in my locker because I really get a better workout and focus. And you see at the gym, everybody's on their phone, and they're not working out and they're taking up space. And it's like, if you put your phone away, you get a way better workout.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Let's go back to some of these more moderate ones. Talking about your role model, do you have anyone who you look up to or a mentor that that coaches you? Or
well, I know I definitely have looked up to Mother Teresa because her and my stories are actually very similar in how she got this calling that she had to go out on the streets and help the poor, and she was scared. There was a lot of war and violence going on outside her church that she could see. There's actually a movie made about her that came out. It was in the theaters recently, and I went and saw it, and it was just really profound. She got this calling. She acted on it. There was all this risk involved, but she did it anyway, and then it expanded to where other nuns got involved, and they wanted to be out on the streets and help the poor, and they had a lot of challenges and setbacks and dangerous moments, but it expanded, and they actually had to create a chapter for nuns who wanted to be out working directly with the poor and homeless and suffering. They had to create that around her beginning of Mother Teresa. So that would be really cool if someday maybe there's an army of angels that are going around promoting, kindness and positivity and maybe prayer. Like, ever since they took prayer, like, out of schools, I mean, think of how violent and bullying schools have gotten. What if that was shifted, But I don't know. Things have gotten so weird in politics. It's like you could just step on toes and everyone's, like, throwing eggs at you, and I don't know. But I don't know where I went off on a tangent with that.
That's a good segue into this next one, though.
But one last thing.
Yeah, sure.
Was in this movie, it revealed Mother Teresa had these letters that she would write, I think, to God, and how she had this profound loneliness that she dealt with. And I have gone through that, where it's like, I'm doing this epic mission. Like, I'm, like, going out with these posters into some very risky zones and uncharted territory. And, I've, for lack of a better word, had some balls to go to some places with the, looking like an idiot sometimes. People look at me like, what is this girl in these wings? I get the weirdest looks. But it's like, but then I have this moments where I feel like I lack support, and I'm scared. I'm like, I wish I had some bodyguards sometimes or a boyfriend there to watch over and protect me, and I don't have that. So I have to rely on angels and prayer to protect me and look out for me, and myself to just keep going despite, feeling down sometimes. Like, is this making any difference? Is what I'm doing worth all of this heartache sometimes? So I just do the best I can. I do the best I can.
Sure. And that's all anyone can do, so All right, so this would be about our last question, and it says, kind of along those lines where you're in these sketchy situations. How do you steer clear or use your intuition to stay away from bad people, or men who lie to get in bed? It says, or people who take advantage of you financially.
Actually, that was the way it was. What I don't know what's going on with my allergies today. Sorry. Yeah, like being wary of people that I meet. I've had people taking advantage of me in terms of I've paid them in full for stuff, and they've taken my money and taken off. And so this is actually happening right now, where I'm involved in the first time ever having to go to legal means to chase people and be like, hey, we had a contract. You're not doing what you said you're going to do. You took my money. I paid in full and you disappeared. It's like, it really gives me trust issues. You want to put this confidence and trust in people that they are going to do what they say they're going to do. And when they don't, it feels like a violation in a way. It's like, I gave you this dream of mine. I paid you to help me start it. It's basically my fashion line, right? And I'm trying to get it started. And I've just had people, just disappear on me. And I'm like, but I paid you. Aren't you supposed to do your job? And I don't know what's going on. Yeah. But so I know that was our last question, but did you have anything else like you can think of off the top of your head?
Yeah. I mean, kind of winding down, what are some things that you would like to leave the viewers with, and what's your intention moving forward?
I think I'd like to maybe focus on producing my first book next year. I wanted to devote this year mainly to my talk show stuff, and it's a lot of work. I know you just get to come and watch it, but it's actually a lot of work behind the scenes to produce this. And so season 1, season 2 was year has been kind of about the talk show. And I think I'd like to do a little bit more writing and introspection on what do I want to do next. And I would like to start with the fashion stuff that I was talking about, with my fashion line, and maybe have an online store. And I got to figure out, especially if I'm not getting the help that I thought that I'd paid for, I got to figure out another path. There's always other paths you can take. There's always other people. It's just out here, sometimes it's hard to know who to put your trust into and who can take this baby and grow it with you. And it's like that's kind of challenge that I'm facing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. I'm kind of in the same boat with trying to create something and bring it to fruition.
I have a question.
Sure.
For you, kind of. We were in the car talking about dating and relationships, which he's kind of like a brother in that way. We kind of banter about dating and our escapades, and we kind of get feedback with each other, and do that with Anna Julia, with the girl side of stuff. But with Dustin, we were kind of talking about, you're in a phase where you don't want a commitment. Right. You're kind of experimenting, and I think a lot of guys, especially here in the city, kind of do that. There's a lot of options here. There's a lot of women here. Yeah. So it's easy to be like, ooh, she's hot, and she's hot, and bang her and do that. But it's like, would you say the whole fairy tale romance and stuff, is that when a man is basically decides he's ready for that, or?
I think so, and I think that it's the problem happens is when a man is not upfront about his intentions. And, that's where all the turmoil and misleading and hurt happens. But I think that, you go through a period, I'm not opposed to the idea of finding that one. I was in a relationship where I loved her, and, it was perfect. It was a great, ideal relationship. But I'm not ready to really commit to spending the rest of my life with someone just yet, So I still am in kind of a dating zone. So, I know that scares away a lot of people, but at the same time, it's kind of honoring me on my path. And, I feel like it's, it's important to also respect another person's desires and what they want, and let them know that's where you stand.
So, but what if you meet, like you said, the girl who felt like Epic could be the one, and you lose that? What if...
You lose what? You lose
that woman,
the girl.
Yeah, and then what if another good one like that doesn't come around again? Do you try to go back to her, see if she'll take?
You could, but I mean, I think it's, you keep moving forward, and there is so much out there in the world, and, that you can experience and grow and learn from, and, that it's like I thought about that too. Like, I do feel like this last relationship I was in was like, she was like the
ideal wife.
Perfect fit, funny, fun, adventurous, great. But at the same time, I'm not in that same position. So,
So you let it
wouldn't
go.
Back. Yeah, I wouldn't go back. I would keep moving forward and just trust that, my destiny is not with that person. I think that I like we were talking about earlier, is like, just having believing in something greater than yourself, or a greater kind of like law or unraveling of the universe, and having that as something that propels, your perspective, and seeing that, like, maybe things are happening for a reason, or, this is not my path at this time,
Do you
trusting.
believe in, what if you stumble upon a woman and you're like, your heart says, this is the one?
Yeah.
Do you believe in that would happen? And
I don't think maybe at this time I'm not in that point, but I do feel like, of course, like, if I definitely felt like, I've thought about this, if I did feel like, like, maybe this girl that I was in a relationship for, she wasn't the one, she was the perfect fit, but she wasn't the,
because we talked about that.
like, she wasn't like,
you didn't seem like you were
excited,
super happy, like at your highest vibration with that person.
So I'm not closed.
She had
off to
qualities
that.
you wanted, but
Definitely.
maybe she wasn't the one.
There maybe there wasn't the, the proper chemistry needed to sustain. But what I feel like is the last, like, from my pattern of relationships I've been in, is that, it starts off really amazing, and you're super connected and having an awesome time, everything's awesome, and then, I think it starts to die down, and most women, they don't look at it from the point of like, oh, it might be time to move on, I want to, like, make this work. But my idea is, like, I don't feel like there's a reason to make it work, when there's nothing really that's at stake, there's kids or anything like that. So yeah, that's kind of where I've been at.
So having the kids would make it work.
Maybe.
Possibly. But not everybody. I mean, a lot of single people with kids,
It's true.
It's not always a thing that'll keep people together.
Yeah, and it's fun to, like, also I was thinking, I do love a relationship. I love having someone to take on adventures and, invest my time with. But at the same time,
cuddle.
And watch a movie, curl up and watch a movie. At the same time, I don't feel like I do want to experience life, and I do want to experience all the, like we were talking about, the pleasures and joys that life has to offer, and not deny myself of any of it.
Right. Well, I think the last person somebody submitted this morning was like, what would I look for in a partner? Which we only have a minute show. I don't think I could get through all of the things, but I mean, I did say, I want a guy to look at me and be like, this is my dream girl, but I want to be the same way with him. There has to be the chemistry and attraction. There has to be that component. Otherwise, what kind of sex are you really going to have, But it's like, affection and romance, but also that they're a man. They can support themselves, pay their own bills. They have their own place that they're living. They have their own car. They have some kind of career or job, or, they're open-minded. Spirituality is important to them. Like, they want to learn about that. They're curious.
Guys, you listening? Let's open up the hotline.
God, and they got to be good in bed. I'm not gonna lie, that's important to me. They got to at least know how to please a woman and care about that, because there have been guys who just don't care, and that's like the worst thing ever. It's like, if you don't care about your lover, then I don't want anything to do with you. He likes cats, because I kind of want to get another hairless cat. He has a hairless cat.
Yeah.
He's like the only other person I know that owns one. But he's chivalrous and kind and sweet. He's good with kids and animals, and we like to go on adventures. He's sociable, and basically a good counterpart to who I am. And I understand that nobody's perfect, but I think it's got to feel like the right fit, like the puzzle piece to enter my puzzle piece. It's like it's got to click. And I mean, I don't think I can list all the things, but smart, and he's willing to communicate and compromise, and I think that's so important in relationships. Communication, compromise. You've got to be able to talk to each other, because that's what's going to keep it going. And a flexible person is
Does yoga.
I meant like with life and with the relationship, but yeah, I mean, we could do some yoga together and all kinds of stuff. But Cool. I think we gotta wrap it up now.
Nice, you got
And
through it all.
thank you, Dustin, for filling in last second. I had fun. I'm glad you were here. And so bandsandbody.com if you want to see
Sure.
him. I think he was on my season 1, episode 4, if you want to go watch his full interview. So thank you for everybody who actually took their time to watch my talk shows, any of them, any portion of them. Thank you for support and love and compliments, submitting questions, and watching my little angel project unfold over the last 4 years. And thank you to my family for your love, even though it's been crazy, but, you know, I'm close with my family. So thank you, everybody, and thank you, T Radio V, and the guys, you know, who've been great in the back. And thank you, everybody. Bye. Take care.
Adios.
See ya.
You are watching T Radio V, Radio and TV.